Good evening and welcome to you from Clarencetown, Long Island. It is a place I'm told that's perhaps one of the best spots in the Bahamas. And if you don't think I'm telling you the truth, do y'all agree? Yeah. Listen, we have an absolute hall filled with Long Islanders. We have a hall filled with Long Islanders tonight. Some of the greatest Bahamians, I think, ever to live are from Long Island. And it's not, I'm just not just saying that because I'm from Long Island, but it's the truth. Long Islanders are some of the greatest Bahamians you'll ever know. And I'll tell you, the Small Business Development Center, I think, hit it big when they landed on Long Island. Because if anybody knows about business and how to run a successful business, is Long Islanders. They're resilient, they're smart, they know how to lead, and they got money. And so, no doubt, it makes for a winning formula. We're happy to bring to you this special edition of The Rundown from Long Island tonight, as we talk about really the opportunities that are going to be available to the business community and to entrepreneurs and to people who want to be able to get involved in the success and the rebuilding and the bouncing back and the elevation and the coming back of Long Island. If you think Long Island is done, wrong synopsis. They're just getting started, and they're coming back from difficult times, but they're coming back stronger than before. We're talking developments, right? Roads. Somebody say airport? Airport. Listen, let me pause on the airport bit for a second, right? Because, you know, I was trying to understand why my team had to come on a charter flight this evening while I came on Bahamas Air, and Bahamas Air had empty seats on the plane. So I'm trying to figure out why empty seats on the plane. They telling us ain't no more seats on the plane. And then I learned because of the airport and the runway, the plane can't come full of people because when it lands, you know, it's about weight and balance and the kind of runway it has to land on. And so they can't fill the seats on Long Island flights. And so I didn't understand that until I landed. When the plane hit the ground, I thought, I get it. Because, you know, nobody can land planes like Bahamas Air pilots, right? And even that was difficult. Because when she landed, I was trying to feel the road. But the runway just didn't seem to be there. And then she was going fast, and I was like, the runway ending. But it just tells you that Long Island needs to have an airport. And Long Island, I'm told, you're getting your airport, right? That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And the Davis administration has gone on record saying they're going to make it happen. And I see Wells and his team here. Where they going? They were sitting there. They're right there. So they must even make sure it happened, you know. And the MP going to make sure it happened. He's probably out to the runway right now while he's here. But things are about to change for the island. The island needs improvement in roads, infrastructure. I understand the challenges they were having with BPL is past and it's gone. BPL says it's lights on now. Boy, Tony, I know what you can take to them today. But things are changing. Things are changing, and it's changing for the good. And I'm glad that throughout all of what Long Islanders have had to endure, they've remained good people. Not bitter, not mad, not bad, but they've remained focused, they've remained positive, and I believe that's why they've come to their time now where the best indeed is not yet to come. The best is indeed coming. The best indeed is happening, and I'm happy to hear that. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about that in a few minutes that we have. We have a wonderful panel of experts who can talk about the developments in Long Island. I mean, I couldn't even assemble this panel in Nassau. I mean, experts, and look like a lot of Long Island natives, because everybody live, well, except for Sam, everybody live. You know, Sam, you could be with me. We from the deep south. The further south you go Long Island, the darker the shade gets. So I'm at the end, Gordons and Mortimers, you see, so you don't get no darker than us. But I guess y'all from up north, eh? Look at him quiet, look at God, you're quiet. So, but nonetheless, they're experts who are here to help Long Islanders and help businesses. How many of you out there have business? All right, good. How many of you want to get into another business or increase your business or add to your business. I saw your hand went up quick. Yeah. And the opportunity is here, and that's what growth is all about in any country. And that's what Long Island is poised to do. It's poised to grow. And we're going to talk about that. We have a panel. Let me introduce who the panelists are, and then we're going to obviously take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to just let them go loose so you know exactly who they are. Of course, Executive Director of the Small Business Development Center, Samantha Roll, who's been doing a wonderful job taking this all around the country. See, people like to complain and say everything Nassau-centric. Well, she made sure that wasn't the case. She's been going throughout the island. She has representatives in many of the islands, and they're making sure that Bahamians throughout the archipelago can benefit, and not just people in the capital. And she's been doing an excellent job in that, and I'm glad that she's here on Long Island. To make sure Long Island gets a piece of that pie, of course, is a woman who seems to always reinvent herself. Every time I come to Long Island, she's working in a different job. When I was here before, she was in PTC, and I came back and she was doing something else, and then she was USAID. And now she tells me, say she's advisor for SPDC. Boy, keep inventing yourself, Ramona. Ramona Taylor, who's responsible for the local end. Now, he's a vice president, private banking and managing director in Finco, but he's not here in that capacity. He's the treasurer of this. Listen, I've never seen a more proud association in Long Island. There's association, right? They proud people. Mr. Dwight Burrows, it's good to have you on the show. Dwight keeps following me, you know. Every time I do my show, he keeps showing up wherever I do my show. I guess he's going to be sponsoring it next. Yeah, Dwight. Then, of course, the woman y'all want to talk to tonight, the CEO of Bahamas Power and Light. And she's a Long Island native, so y'all go easy on your people. Did we just go off the air? Are we still on? We're still on air. Okay, so I'll have to talk loud because I'm told we're still on the air. So the CEO of Bahamas Power and Light, Tony Seymour, is here. Oh, my goodness. Tony's here, and we're going to talk about the fact that power cuts are a thing of the past. And then, of course, we have the group's chief executive officer for Fidelity Bank and Trust International Limited, Mr. Gowan Bowe, is here as well for us. And so we're happy that we have a great panel of experts. Great panel of experts. We're going to take your questions, take your comments, and talk about what's happening for the island of Long Island. And of course, our conversation will begin right after this break. You're watching The Rundown live from Clarencetown, Long Island. We're back after the break. Stay close.
Fashion was something that I've always loved. I always, as a child, loved to see women just impeccably dressed. But my thing was drawing the looks and mixing colors, and fashion was in my blood. My name is Dr. Jillian Curry Williams, and I'm the designer for Remilda Rose Designs. What sets me apart, that I pay attention to detail. Like, I have an eye for detail. I pay attention to the construction of my garment. I want to make sure that when my garment is completed, that you can wear that on the wrong side or the right side because it's impeccably made. I put my personality into my passion. Well, the fabric of hope was inspired by my father. My father had cancer, and I would go with him to treatments and seeing everybody just look despondent and dreary. And one day this lady dropped her mom off, and her mother fell once she got inside, and I was like, wow, like God, like I'm only a fashion designer. Like, what can I do to assist these people? I know God had me to create it to inspire persons with cancer or any illness that there's hope, that there is light at the end of that tunnel. The encouraging word I would give to women, it's been in my heart for a couple of days, to speak to the older women who may feel that I'm 40, what can I do? I'm 50, what can I do? And that's when the fire in us kicks in. We've had the work experience. We pass all those tests. So take that idea that God has given you and put it to use. This is where it all begins.
To learn more about the Women Entrepreneurs Initiative, visit our website or contact us at 461-7232. And remember, empowered women empower women.
Are you a talented musician ready to take your passion to the next level? Then the Bahamas National Youth Choir is the place to be. Auditions are now open for the month of September to persons ages 15 to 25 years old. We offer two exciting options: concert choir for those who enjoy classical and traditional music, and show choir for those who want to perform in a more theatrical setting. Don't miss your chance to be a part of an incredible musical journey. To set up your audition appointment, email us at bnycsecretary@gmail.com. Let your voice be heard with the Bahamas National Youth Choir.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
Tired of looking at the same old kitchen? Step 1. Our talented recommended designer Mark crafts a custom design just for you. Step 2. Once your design is ready, CBS Bahamas makes ordering effortless. Your dream kitchen is within reach. Step 3. Our recommended installers bring your vision to life, ensuring every detail is perfectly in place. Sit back and relax as your dream space becomes a reality. Visit cbsbahamas.com and start bringing your home improvement dreams to life today.
I put my foolish pride aside in acknowledgement of your goodness. Everything is the Lord's in the earth in its fullness.
It's MADIO Mario, and I'm inviting you to tune into Entertainment Fridays on the Bahamas Tonight. Access now at 7:30 p.m. You miss it, you diss it.
Fall, but was caught before I fell. Was so hard-headed, too stubborn to ask for help.
That's the Bahamas Tonight. Access now, weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
We'll lead off with this report. This one is a good one to lead off with for Sunday.
Your weekend news just got better. Exciting features, good vibes. It's all about the feeling.
Hey, I'm Raven, and your Sundays never felt so good. Tune into Northern Service Vibes, where culture meets conversation, every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. only on the ZNS Network.
There's a spark of greatness in each of us. That spark is called personality. Individual gifts and talents provide the fuel to set that spark ablaze. Each child has the right to an education which values their personality and nurtures their talents, while teaching them to be respectful to their parents and their cultures.
Welcome back to Clarencetown, Long Island, special SBDC Town Hall meeting, talking to the residents of Long Island. We're so happy to have you joining us. Those of you who are watching on your various platforms, if you're watching, I see those of you who are here in the Lions Den, good to have you. Those of you who are watching your various platforms, YouTube, Flow TV, BTC around the country, those of you in Turks and Caicos and around the world watching tonight by YouTube, thank you for joining us. Welcome to Clarencetown, Long Island. It's a beautiful place. You should come and visit if you've never been here before. We're talking about the development of Long Island and its business, and it's been an exciting thing seeing people expand the opportunities they have on this island to make this island great. We want to begin talking about some of the opportunities. I want to begin with the executive director of SBDC, Samantha Roll, because she's been doing this all over the country, and I want her to talk about what has been unique about Long Island. Tell us, Samantha, what has been the clinch? How has Long Island responded, and what are some of the opportunities available for Long Islanders?
Well, thank you so much, Clint. So Long Island has invested in some top industries across the Bahamas. And so what I mean by that is, of the $94 million in approved funding that SBDC has done over 7 years, Long Island have invested in fisheries, agriculture, we have transportation, and so we're happy that we're getting the response from Long Island, as Ramona can talk more about some of the specific businesses. And the great part about it is they're also helping to develop Long Island. And so a number of the businesses that have opened up are of need, and it helps with the demand, where it's Long Island has its own almost Home Depot, so to speak, right? That's recently opened. There are a number of other hospitality, tourist-related opportunities that have flourished in Long Island through the help of SBDC. And so, you know, it's tremendous, and we have quite a bit of programs, other grant opportunities, other funding opportunities that are open and ready for Long Island.
While you have the microphone, I want to get this question. I know a lot of people feel that way, and that is, of course, the paperwork to fill out in order to access the funding. And we know we heard just now from the VAT people, the Inland Revenue, he's boasting about how much paperwork you got to fill out, right? But I know that you have to find a happy medium, but talk about that, because that sometimes discourages people from coming forward.
SBDC certainly should not be compared to Inland Revenue. But I do understand in the filling out of the application how it can feel overwhelming, particularly because you're passionate about this. This is something that you need, you want, you desire. But I also want you to understand the application process. It helps us in terms of accountability, transparency, and it also helps you in terms of preparedness. It's important for us to make sure that we're doing our due diligence in one aspect. But for you, if we're asking for a business plan, financial statements, or compliance documents, it helps you to prepare in that sense to make sure that your business succeeds. And so the application process should never be seen as just paperwork or red tape, right? As part of the process, we also include free of charge entrepreneurial training, and that's part of the requirement. And so we provide that to where you can do self-paced, it's virtual. In all cases, we do hybrid, but that should never be seen as red tape. It should be seen as an opportunity to learn, to garner more information that perhaps you didn't even think about. This is an approach that we can take in advancing your business.
Awesome. I want to pass it back down to Ramona Taylor, because I want to hear about some of the businesses that we see are accessing the assistance and funding from SBDC, and what would you like to see as well?
Well, as most of us in this room would attest to, fishing and maritime industries dominate the economy, simply because it's what people do and it's their way of life. There's tourism, but there's so many challenges with tourism for Long Island at this time, until we can get the resolution that we need to be able to get. For instance, airlift is the biggest challenge, and that is tied into the airport. And then you have, but what I am seeing are people, new trends, people are coming up with amazing business ideas. I see it every day. I mean, some of the industries that I have touched on the island have gone from restaurants to stores to even into the aviation industry, helping to secure financing, everything from, the range is so great that, to see the things that people are coming up with now, especially the young people, their ideas are endless. And we hope to see more of that especially with all the digital stuff going on. And so I'm very encouraged about what I see. And I think that the SBDC, for my part, what I have seen and the interest that I get from people across the island is very encouraging, to say the least. And I think that it's going to continue. And now that everyone in this room sees that, SBDC is serious about getting you what you need in the time and manner that you need it, I think that it's just going to be great going forward.
So it's important for people to hear it. People are actually getting yeses from applying.
Oh, yes. I've had great successes, and I have, the SBDC executive can support that, and I have my financial institution, the main one, Fidelity, and of course we have now a private bank on the side of us too here, so I think we're well represented. And yes, we would like to see movement in that area, because there is a need for entrepreneurs to have access, and that is what had been missing. But SBDC has offered and opened up the way for more access, and I think that having the bankers here, having the people, the movers and shakers who can make it happen, is going to make a difference.
I want to pass the mic down to Gow and Bo, because when you talk about Family Island businesses, the reality is a lot of banks are afraid because of the risk involved. But of course, you're never scared. Talk about the partnership that you have with SBDC in order to be able to assist businesses here in Long Island.
Well, I think it starts by oftentimes persons see the banking financing as, I just need the money. Mm-hmm. And the importance of SBDC is bringing together the holistic view, because oftentimes persons are disappointed when, if you come saying, I just need the money, mm-hmm. And I put it to persons very simply like this. If your cousin comes to you, say, I need $100,000, mm-hmm. and you know he ain't never do nothing before, are you likely to give it to him?
No.
Right? And so sometimes you have the comment, well, the banks are not lending, and you say to them, well, would you personally lend to them? Say, no, I ain't lending to them. And so the SBDC helps us to partner with an incubation program that says, I'm not coming simply saying I have a good idea, so therefore give me money. I am going through the training and the development that is saying, I'm learning that I need systems. I'm learning that I need marketing. I'm learning that I need accounting. I'm learning that I need to be tax compliant. And I'm actually formulating a business plan that helps me to project where I'm going to end up. And we don't have a crystal ball. So it allows us from the bank side to say to SBDC, these are some of the characteristics and factors that we're going to assess when you bring the projects towards us. And SBDC has done an excellent job in terms of saying, well, we have gone through, if you will, kicking the tires, mm-hmm. Poking the bear, and having an understanding that we feel comfortable to put our name behind it. Because I think sometimes that's the most important part. We know that when we recommend someone, we expect them to deliver. Mm-hmm. So the SBDC sees it as, when I recommend to you Fidelity, it is saying, I believe they have a chance. It is saying, you give me the advice in terms of things I need to factor in, but when we go forward, as SBDC, we're going to put some skin in the game, because we have the guarantee program, we have the grant funding that we provide. But so we're not coming at this as saying, please just lend them the money. We're coming and saying, we're putting our money where the mouth is. So I think that what is so important is understanding collaboration, collective work, because it is saying that, yes, the funds that exist in the banks are available, and I'll be candid, there's over $2 billion in excess liquidity in the banking system. But the bank cannot lend that out if it's not going to get repaid. Right. So what we need is strong business plans with persons that have prepared themselves to execute, and then have a partnership that should be enduring for a lifetime.
What advice? You have a room full of potential customers, and it's always good to know that when you go to the bank, you don't go alone, right? You have SBDC going with you saying, we're backing them. What advice do you give to potential business prospects?
You know, it started where I said earlier, a goal without a plan is just a wish. If you go cap in hand, then you get donation. If you go armed as a serious investor, because that's what you're coming to me as a banker saying, I'm invested in my business idea. You have to demonstrate that this isn't, I want you to take a gamble on me. This is saying that I know that there's no guarantee, but I believe that all of what I'm laying out in front of you is going to be beneficial for you and me. How is it beneficial? I'm going to be able to pay you back, but I'm also going to be able to procure from you services. I'm going to digitize my business. I'm going to advance my sales by being able to provide options for my customers and for my various stakeholders. And then ultimately, I'm coming with a demand. Now, I'm not telling you come to my office and say, look, my boy, I need this money. But what I am saying to you is, don't come to me pensive. Don't come as if you're not sure.
Right.
Because then I'm not sure. If you come with me, to me, with confidence, not arrogance, that says, I have a plan, I have persons who've showed me how I can make this work, I expect you, Bo, to challenge me, but I believe I can answer all your questions and demonstrate to you. And then I would say, make sure that you are not trying to meet a need that you believe is necessary. Make sure that you've done your research to say, I'm meeting a need where people are willing to pay for it.
All right, good answer, good response here. So exactly how do the people of Long Island feel about the services being offered? And what about the people in this room? What do they have to say? We're going to talk to some of them and hear from the association when we come back after this break. It's about the halfway mark. We're going to pay some bills, and we'll be back live here, Clarence Town, Long Island, on The Rundown. We're back after this. Stay close.
After I was in a plane crash in June 1983, I lost my left arm. I had some good friends, came along, fishing guides. They said, man, we can teach you to fly fish. Exuma, exuma. Can you see? Look at it, man. One of the nicest places you want to be in the world. There were challenges learning to cast, learning to put a fly on a leader, learning to tie the different knots for me as a handicapped individual. As a matter of fact, I don't really feel handicapped because I could do everything, man. Anything anybody could do, I think I could do it too. Because with your mindset to do anything, no matter what you are, what you look like, what's happening to you, you can do it. Persons in our positions, it's hard to get fundings and very, very expensive. SBDC would be helpful in regards to help funding people with disabilities. So nothing is impossible if you're disabled, any kind of disability. Put faith in God and trust God. Believe you will overcome.
Can you imagine our kids on their own? We can't just look away.
Are you sure these people want us?
I know they do. You can call me Mama. Oh, Lord.
If we can't wrap our arms around the most vulnerable, then what do we have? Noise! And the children can't take the noise anymore.
We want the ones that nobody else wants.
Who hurt you, baby? I'm not giving up on you. You can't give up on me either. What we gonna do? Everybody's falling apart.
I'm doing the best I can.
We gotta work on this together. We your people now. And love never gives up.
And welcome back to The Rundown. We are coming to you live from Clarence Town, Long Island. That's in the south. It's when you're heading south. If you don't know where Clarence Town is, it's the capital. It's where the administrative complex, this wonderful community center is. Long Island is exactly what it says. It's long. And when you think you're in the south and you have to drive, it's far. You know, I came in today and they said that where I was staying was in Clarence Town. And then I noticed I kept on passing signs that weren't Clarencetown. But I guess they meant it's near Clarencetown. But, you know, Nassau, everything is 15 minutes when no traffic on the road. So here, to drive for 20 minutes, and they say you're near. I was like, you sure? But that's Long Island, one of the uniqueness of it. But it is beautiful. You know, a lot of people don't recognize the uniqueness of this island. If you've ever seen some of the beaches, and I'm talking about particularly in the South, right? There's a beach in Gordons. But if you literally see it, you feel like you are not on Earth. It is that breathtaking. It is beautiful, and you can't believe, you know, they always like to say, and I ain't knocking no island, but they like to say that some island has some of the best beaches, right? I can tell you hands down, it will pass the test over any other island. It is one of the most beautiful beaches in Gordon, and it just tells you just how beautiful this island is, and they protect it. They welcome visitors. They love having visitors, but you know, there's a myth about Long Island. If you don't come to visit, you don't want to stop here, keep going in the chain. But I want to talk now to get reaction on SBDC. We want to talk about what are the people here looking for when government provides assistance? Is it meeting the need? Is it reaching what people want to see done? And I want to talk to the treasurer of the association, Mr. Burrows, to find out, what are people saying about SBDC? What are some of the things they're looking for, first of all, on the island? And is it meeting the need?
Thank you very much, Clint. Good evening, Long Island. It is a pleasure to be here. So let me start by saying congratulations to the SBDC. I've had the opportunity to work with them for the last 12 months when they launched the groundbreaking Men in Business initiative. Thought it was huge. We had, I think, close to 900 applicants. A number of those, maybe 20 or so, were from Long Island, and a number from the other family islands. That was so successful that there was a second Men in Business initiative focused specifically on the family islands. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the contributions to men that own small businesses throughout the country got up to maybe $700,000 or $800,000. And so in terms of Long Island, you may have heard some figures earlier. So far, the SBDC has supported Long Island to the tune of just under $2 million. Wow. And that's across 77 applications. Wow. So an average of about $26,000 per applicant. That's big. What's even bigger, in my view, is the fact that a portion of that includes a grant. And for those who are familiar with grants, you don't have to repay those. And so I believe SBDC is doing a fantastic job supporting small business and small business owners in the family islands. In Long Island, some of the major needs are around tourism, are around fisheries, are around transportation. And if you look at the numbers, you'll see that those are the three industries that got the bulk of that $2 million. There's also other opportunities in construction. There are opportunities, I think I mentioned fisheries, but in some of the creatives. And I think there's one other unique thing that we miss about the SBDC, and that's the fact that grant aside and funding aside, there is a business blueprint program. I had the opportunity to work through that myself. It's rigorous. It's the equivalent of a college, maybe a certification, a one-year program, and all participants have to go through that. That's worth a lot more, in my view, than the grant or the funding, because that positions small business owners to understand what skill sets and what activities they need to engage in to ensure that they build or maintain a successful business. So the SBDC is doing a fantastic job.
Awesome, awesome. I want to talk to Tony Seymour, the CEO of BPL, because, of course, electricity power supply is important. And earlier, if you were just watching, if you're just joining us, earlier tonight, we did a demonstration of what it feels like for the power to go off. And just so that people, Just so people have an idea of what it's like and what you don't want to have happen. And it was a very effective demonstration. And so I'm going to ask her to talk about what's on stock for Long Islanders when it comes to power supply and generation. Go ahead, Madam CEO.
Good evening, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be home. And my guys timed that perfectly, didn't they? I mean, as soon as my name was announced, I couldn't have timed it better myself. So what we have going on now, as I mentioned, every time I speak about Long Island, the challenge in Long Island is the power station is not in the center of the island. It's further north. Most family island installations, the power station is in the middle, and there are two feeders, one north, one south, that feeds from a central point. So because the Millers Power Station is so far north, if a challenge arises, getting power from Millers to Gordon's is virtually impossible. And that is our reality. So one of the things that we've proposed to the board is a $1.2 million investment in a generator and a transformer to be placed south of Scrub Hill, because in reality, if we lose two engines, one engine can probably power from Millers to about Scrub Hill. And so the rest of South Long Island is suffering in darkness and heat until we get a second engine back up and running. So what that will do is bring relief, immediate relief to the residents of South Long Island, and also bring relief to the engines at the Millers Power Plant. So we have had some challenges at the plant recently. As you would have seen, we lost two engines day before yesterday, I think, and the little blip that you saw was them testing one of the engines that they had done some repairs to. And I said, why would you test? And you know the town meeting is going on. Like in the middle of the town meeting, why would you be doing testing? Nevertheless, our work never stops. We work around the clock 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we understand what the challenges are. So in addition to the $1.2 million investment in a new generator that's not going to be located at the Millers Power Plant, there is also a 5-megawatt solar installation as a part of the new energy era. All of the family islands are getting solar installations as well as battery energy storage systems as we transition to a cleaner, more environmentally friendly utility.
Good stuff. So my question then is, I want to keep it with you, Tony. My question is, are there any business opportunities that you think entrepreneurs can tap in when we're talking about solar and all these other things? Are there opportunities in this regard?
Definitely. So we have a small-scale renewable generation program and a medium-scale renewable generation program. So if you choose to put panels on your roof, once you get approval from ERCA and the Ministry of Works, you install your panels, you apply to us, we come in, we change out your meter. So any energy that you don't use, that you push back into the grid, you will receive credits for at the end of the month that reflects on your bill, and it's paid at whatever the fuel surcharge for that month is. So of course, you know, as you're building your businesses, you know, you can factor that into your designs. As you renovate your homes, or if you got to put on a new roof, just add some panels on top or in the backyard, and you receive credits every month for the energy that you don't consume.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to talk to some of the people and take questions from them or comments that they may have. But while we're getting ready to do that, the Member of Parliament was not able to make it, but he did send a message in support. And we're going to play that now for our television viewers so that you hear from the Member of Parliament, Mr. Adrian Gibson, in regard to this initiative. Take a look.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you for being here tonight. To those who are visiting Long Island, welcome to Long Island. It is a privilege to join you here this evening for the Long Island Town Hall on the road to economic empowerment. I want to thank the Executive Director, Ms. Samantha Roll, and Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center and ZNS for bringing this important conversation to Long Island and for ensuring that our voices and realities are a part of the national dialogue. This gathering is more than just an event. It is a recognition that small businesses are the lifeblood of our family islands, and especially here on Long Island. These are not just conversations, they are building blocks for our island's future. Here in Long Island, small businesses is not just important, it is essential. They are the backbone of our economy. The truth is, Long Island does not have large industries and massive corporations driving our economy. What we do have are hard-working men and women, our fishermen, farmers, contractors, food vendors, shopkeepers, boat captains, taxi drivers, tour operators, and service providers, who, with their own hands and vision, carry the weight of this island every single day and showcase our beautiful island to the world. But we also know the challenges. High shipping and fuel costs eat away at profits. Banking and financing options are limited. Utilities are unreliable. Access to goods, services, and markets often comes at twice the cost and effort compared to the Providence. Many of our small business owners are working twice as hard to break even. These are the realities on the ground. Too often, our people are working hard, but without access to capital, training, and networks that entrepreneurs in Nassau or abroad might take for granted. That is why small business development must remain front and center for us. It is about giving our people the tools to grow ideas into sustainable enterprises, keeping money circulating in our local economy, and creating jobs right here at home, so our young people don't feel they have to leave to find opportunity. Yet, Long Islanders, in those challenges lie tremendous opportunities. Long Island has the potential to lead in sustainable farming and fishing, ecotourism, boutique guest houses, and Airbnb ventures, cultural and adventure tours, marine and boating services, and value-added products that carry the proud Long Island brand. With the right support, that is, access to capital, training, mentorship, and wider markets, these businesses can thrive. When we empower small businesses here, we are not just creating jobs. We are building food security through stronger farming and fishing. We are growing tourism by encouraging authentic, locally owned ventures that showcase who we are. Every small business that takes root here keeps money circulating on the island, creates jobs for our people, and strengthens families. More importantly, it shows our young people that they can stay, innovate, and build a future right here at home. Most of all, small business development is about empowerment. It's about independence, dignity, and creating opportunities that last. Opportunities that belong to Long Islanders, built by Long Islanders, and for Long Islanders. And so, let's all take full advantage of the resources and expertise being shared here tonight, and think creatively about how we can turn ideas into enterprises that benefit our families and our island. Tonight is not just another meeting. Tonight should not be just another meeting. It is part of the foundation we must keep building to ensure Long Islanders have a fair shot, a level playing field, and the support needed to succeed. Together, I believe, we can commit to supporting our small business community, building partnerships, and drawing growth that empowers Long Island for generations to come. And so, to the Small Business Development Center and to all gathered, let us commit to support our entrepreneurs, not only with words, but with real investment, real training, and real access to markets. Because when small businesses succeed, Long Island succeeds. Thank you, and I look forward to a fruitful and inspiring conversation.
That, of course, is the Member of Parliament for Long Island. We thank the Member of Parliament for Long Island for his address and comments to us tonight in support of what's happening here on Long Island. Thank you, Mr. Gibson, for that. We want to open the floor for questions, so come on up if you have questions for our panels. They're expert panel who can help us, and so we're going to take that. But I want to ask Mr. Gowen-Bo, because I think it's important, what makes Long Island unique for investment and opportunities based on what you've seen?
You know, the interesting thing is each of the islands of the Bahamas have their unique characteristics, and I think what Long Island has is what I'm going to call high spirit, because it's one that they have long been known to be diligent workers, collective thinkers, and ones who look to make their own existence be as independent as possible, not in terms of cessation from the rest of the country, but meaning that they are not relying or depending on others to provide. And I think that that lays a foundation that says if they get the support, how much greater it could be. Because if they've been able to do this through their own resources, then as you start to add the resources of others, and as I spoke to before in terms of saying using other people's money to develop and advance, there are tremendous opportunities. They're known for fisheries, but they're also with agriculture. They'll argue, you know, in terms of mutton and the other elements that they can produce and export. And it's around turning what would be self-sustenance into commercial enterprise at a scale that allows you to make a profit. You know, when we think about now the advancement in agriculture in terms of technology and the ability to do things, it still goes back to a farmer is a farmer is a farmer, meaning I don't care how much technology, AI you have, if you don't understand how to rear animals, how to take care of them, etc., it's not going to be successful. So I think the entrepreneurial spirit of the island, the sort of resilience, as you mentioned when you came on, but most importantly, I won't say which island you said, you know, competes on the beaches, but yes, and in sailboat making and in sailing. But, you know, the truth of the matter is when you look at their, and I'll call sailing the cultural side, and I'll call that the creative side, even though it's a sport. And the reason being is you see the beauty in a sailboat. It is not only the competition that it has, but it also has a tremendous promotional aspect in terms of what it can be to, say, the culture and national sport of the country. So when you put all of those together, you say we start with tourism because we have the natural given resources. We have the spirit of the persons that allow for agriculture, farming, and fisheries. And we have a sport and sail making that says, how do we take this to the world? And how do we turn it into a profit-making enterprise? I think if we combine financial advice, the experience and expertise of the island, along with the support of government in terms of national development, then this island has no limitation on how far it can be. And I think it's just a matter of going back to the drawing board and saying, how do we bring the resources of the country to an island that has so much potential?
All right. I want to read some of the comments online in the Lion's Den. Clean Air Farms says, congratulations to everyone. Nathan J. Burrows says, very solid partnership. And also we have Leela Dean, who's asking, how do you determine what amount someone gets when they apply?
So it depends on what they're applying for. So whether it's a grant funding, we state the maximum amount. Whether it's $5,000 or $10,000, that's the maximum amount. And we assess that based on the application. And so when we look at your application, your explanation in terms of use of funds, as well as your supporting documents, so it would be your invoices, we look at that, and the adjudicator then assess what that amount would be. If it's looking from a business loan standpoint, the guaranteed loan program, again, we look at your business plan and we do the risk assessment. We look at the viability, what's in the market. So we collate all of that information, and in, you know, partnership and liaising with the financial partner, we can then say we will approve it for the entire amount, or perhaps we will do it, or we suggest and recommend that it should be done in phases, and we walk that through with the client.
June Turner is asking, Do you only get funding once, or based on different programs, can you apply more than once?
That's a great question, and we get it all the time. So we have clients who have accessed funding multiple times from the SBDC. What happens, however, is if there is a program, for example, we just recently closed the Fly Fishing Initiative, and that particular program was overwhelmingly oversubscribed. And so what happens with that is it may not have been our initial intent to say that only first-time applicants would receive funding, but based on the exhausted budget, we would then look at, well, you know, who has received funding from the SBDC in the past, and the fact that we want to make sure that our access is extended beyond those who would have received access to us before.
All right. Any questions from the floor? Please come and ask your question directed to someone. Come now, because it's airtime. Come. Any comments? I want to hear from some of the people who've accessed funding and letting us know how the process was and how it has assisted you. Come and testify or get the money back. Do we have any recipients here? Where are they?
There.
Oh, you want to know? You do want people to know that was your retirement fund day. As you can see, this room is filled with Long Islanders, obviously learning and finding out what it is. If we have no questions, then we can take our final break and come up with some closing remarks, because I think they could. Y'all good, eh? Y'all good? No questions? You're shy? Okay, tell me in the commercial break, I gotta ask a question. Let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up with some final comments. Any questions from the shy people of Long Island? We're back after this. Stay close.
You're probably wondering what I'm doing here sitting in our amazing studio. Well, I'm preparing for my new show coming this fall. In Depth with Mukesh Lapinder is a Sunday magazine-style show with timely investigations and deep explorations into the country's ills and triumphs. So join me on Sundays at 10 a.m. this fall for long-form and engaging conversations. And remember, only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Hi, I am Director Sharita Murphy of Harvest Discipleship Center. Tune in this Sunday at 4:30 p.m. with Pastor Charles for Words and Wonders, here on the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Coming this fall, Royston Jones and Melina Leonard on the Bahamas Tonight. Access now. Weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Tune in and get your fill of community news. Family Island news, entertainment, and, well, sometimes slithering animals. That's the Bahamas Tonight. Access now. Weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
But I'm giving you 1 month to find a job, or you can find one of your little friends that's gonna let you sleep on their couch for free.
Can I help you? I'm just trying to talk to a young lady right here. I need for you to leave my shop right now. I'm gone.
It's hard for a woman to call out the man and her son. I just need some prayer support.
I'm just trying to see about a job, right? I ain't heard about nothing. What, you a salesman for this company?
I'm the president. That's for more. I want to introduce you to a small group of men that mean the world to me.
We grow together, we eat together. It's what I'm looking for.
Welcome back. Yeah. Welcome back to the rundown from Clarencetown, Long Island. We're going to be wrapping up in a few seconds, but I wanted to get some more questions in for our panelists, and I think we had a couple of them, but I'm going to get this one in online from Johnny Will, who's asking, what documents are needed for grants or funding? Would a current business license be one?
Absolutely. SBDC fund formalized businesses. So you would absolutely need a current business license, a few other documents. They're a bit long for me. I might take all your time, Clint.
Go to the website.
But you can certainly go to the website, sbdcbahamas.com. We have them listed. You can access us through any of the social media platforms, and we're happy to give you that listing.
Okay, great. We had a question here. Go ahead, sir. Stand and give me a question. Yeah. We won't put him on camera. That's all right. He doesn't want to go on camera. Yeah, go ahead.
I was wondering if there's a cap on the amount of power that you can activated by quantity, and also if there's a cap on the amount of surcharge that you can get back.
All right, a cap on the amount or quantity or on surcharge that you can get back.
No, there's no cap. Depending on what you apply for, if you apply for small-scale renewable generation, that's up to a certain amount of kilowatt hours. And whatever you don't consume in your home that you put back into the grid, you will automatically receive those credits at the end of every month. So there's no limit. But it needs to be regulated, and the reason we want everyone to get ERCA approval and Ministry of Works approval is because if you put solar panels on your home and we're not aware of it, you can be feeding electricity into the grid, and we can have people working on a pole two streets down from you who can get injured because we don't know that that exists on your home.
Thank you. Online, I knew it was coming before we got off. I know it was coming. The service spot is asking, when will Long Island have a bank?
So I'm happy to share that we have the chairman of the Clearing Banks Association with us today.
Well, they say you're friends. You know, the short answer I'll say this is that as the chairman of the Clearing Banks, I can say that the manner in which banks exited was not appropriate and needs to be revisited. With that being said, the model of what banks will be in the future for smaller communities is going to be different. Persons saw a bank as a social outing, and that is not going to be the case anymore, that you have a brick and mortar to come in and just see your money in the vault, because it doesn't exist in the vault anymore. And we need to move ourselves forward in terms of cash in the society and understand that the way the world works now is 85% of transactions are without cash. You may say, but that still means 15%. Yes. But the reality is, I remember going to university and having to send a letter, wait till it reached, and then someone to reply and send it back. Now we pick up the phone and do FaceTime, WhatsApp calls, Zoom, etc. So it means that technology evolves and the way we do things change. So you may say that's a political answer, and you may answer the question. When will it come? I can't speak as the chairman for all banks, but what I can say is in the pipeline for Fidelity, we opened Exuma with the new model that I spoke about. The Eleuthera will be before the end of the year. I won't say where you stand in the queue, but you're not. Let me say, the next time I'm here, I'll probably be saying we'll announce that opening date. So it is in the process, in the new model, but I don't want to foreshadow something that we can't do, but it will be one that we will ingratiate. But bear in mind, we are here virtually every other month in terms of the team from New Providence that visits from north to south. And, you know, just today, they had me taking a picture in my T-shirt because it's so hot, but with one of our merchants. And the reality is, Fidelity is only a call away. And my cell phone, I think, is on a billboard somewhere because everyone seems to have it.
And if you need to push your money somewhere, we'll be happy to put the Broadcasting Corporation here. You can deposit your money to us and we'll make sure to bring a return. We have one time for one question. We're at the top of the hour, and I think that came from the lady on the commercial break who asked, there's a video that they give to you when you apply or when you get successful. Are you able to share that video so people have the information that they need to know?
So the training is the business blueprint, and actually it is available to the public in terms of if you are even accessing through the program. So you don't have to apply for a grant. We've had many persons just access our free training, the sessions, and so they can access. Now, internally, we've been having those discussions as to whether or not we can make sure that there's a way that the public can access or have access to that training. We've gotten multiple requests, and so I could almost say of certain that it's coming soon.
Good stuff. And online, I thought it was an important comment to close on because it makes sense. We got into the banks. The person said, as business owners, we need to be able to deposit funds. How do you grow your business if you can't put the money somewhere? It makes sense. I think the powers that be are listening and watching, and I think they get the message loud and clear. Long Island needs a bank, and they need it now. Go, Fidelity, go. Okay, all right. Thank you all so much for joining us, and for those coming to the town hall meeting tonight, and for all, give our panelists a hand. Weren't they amazing? Listen, we've been saying for so long that we need opportunities for our people. Opportunities are here. Now, what sense does it make you crying for opportunities if you don't begin to access the opportunities that are available to you? And that's what it's all about, being able to put wealth into your hands, empowering you, empowering the generations yet unborn, and making sure that you leave a legacy here in Long Island. There should be no reason why you have to leave Long Island to be successful. This island is rich, and it was made rich so that you can live a healthy and prosperous life. So take full advantage of the opportunities to make your wealth right here on Long Island and make this island great, and take it from greatness to greatness. We're so happy to be able to bring this town hall meeting to you live from Clarence Town tonight. We're going to be, I think our next stop is Cat Island, is it correct? Our next stop is Cat Island. Well, we put out the whole team for that one, right? But we're happy to be able to go to the Family Islands and be able to tell the stories of Bahamians and to make sure that Bahamians throughout the Commonwealth are being able to access the wealth that's available throughout the family of islands. And so on behalf of all of us here at the Broadcasting Corporation, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks so much for tuning in. Of course, tomorrow night is a rundown on leadership with Ahmad Rashad. And then, of course, we'll be back on Monday with some more great shows. Thanks for joining us from Clarence Town, Long Island. Good night, everybody.
At the House of Assembly, I'm Mukesh Lapinder. This is ZNS.
You and Your Money is brought to you by the Central Bank of the Bahamas.